Today's topic is we're going to take a little trip on how to build your own commercial CrossFit gym, High Rocks gym, functional fitness gym. Let's get started. Step number one to the roadmap of building your own gym is the wave number one. Wave number one is we're going to lay out a nice form here, and this is all the things that you need for your wave number one. So for your 5 members per 1,000 square feet. That's your first wave of every essential thing that you're going to require to open up that specific, spot that you want to open up. With that, you're going to tell, your clientele, maybe you realize that when you open up, you need more female bars, you need more lighter weight. So depending on the clientele that you're going to get is going to dictate what wave 2 is going to be, right? So let's say you open up, you get high capacity athletes they can lift heavy. Well, you're going to need maybe wave 2, more weights. If you're going to get, maybe elderly or new beginners, that you're going to need more resistant bands. So depending on what you get, you could tell with your clients when you open up, like, hey, we're opening up. You give the best customer service you need. Maybe, a woman's going to have to take a guy bar once in a while. It can happen. And then you get into your budget for your wave 2. And then that's when you're going to associate what you're going to need for that wave. And it just keeps the members, knowing that you are building the best possible facility for them. And it just allows you to, get that real-time data set up and, just go wave per wave per wave. So it's easier for you, less headaches, and it keeps your members engaged. And then every time you get more members, then you could reassess, right? So if you need, we're giving you the 5 members per 1,000 square feet. If you get the double, we'll double it up. And if you get the triple it up. And then it gives you an idea if you need to switch for square footage and so on. So, road stop number 1, pit stop number 1 is the wave. Pit stop number 2 into our roadmap is anticipating the wait and lead times. So for your wave 1 of your whole setup or like all your equipment, give yourself 3 months. That's what we suggest is a 3-month, a buffer of like from your order to, you want to open your gym. And that goes for us. It goes for big box, companies. Usually headaches do happen with some back orders. It is, this is the business that, when you have to order equipment or cut it or make it custom, it happens. All right. So wave number 1, highly suggested 3 months in advance. Make sure that you do, anticipate some hiccups. You got to be flexible with that. So anticipate that opening time with the time that you're going to get your equipment. That's a big thing that some people mistake or they forget. And then that could leave, for like a delayed wait time or delayed opening or soft opening. And that could cause some headaches or, some maybe not so happy new members. So just anticipate that. Pit stop number 3. So evidently we gave you a roadmap for, wave 1 of what we suggest that you have in your first wave of equipment. However, if your budget is healthy and you want to get more, then have at her. This is just a suggestion. However, keep in mind that just because you do have the budget doesn't necessarily mean that you need to spend it, right? So like I said before, if depending on the clientele that you're going to get, really dictates what kind of equipment you want to get. So you don't want to have a high budget and just get everything balls out. And then you're just like, oh, well, I'm not using this. I'm not using that. Then you got to sell it or not use it. So pay attention to what kind of clientele you're going to get. So even if the budget is healthy, keep that in mind. It could be a cash flow thing, right? So set up for your wave 1, see, what kind of clients that you get and what kind of data you can bring in within the first few weeks. And then maybe order again. Again, keeping in mind those wait and lead times. Pit stop number 4 into the roadmap is quality. Okay. And this is a big thing. There's some things you could cheap out and there's things you just cannot cheap out. Please pay attention to this. It's you buy it once, cry once when you see the bill, but then that's it, okay? Let's go over it. We're gonna talk about the 5 essential things that we think you should never cheap out. Number 1, flooring, okay? So these big horse mats, get away from that. Don't even look at that. All you want now is a nice rolling mat. 1/4 inch is the minimum you want. Very easy to clean, very easy to set up, easy to cut. It's just fantastic all around. Number 1, flooring. Number 2, what we're going to talk about is the quality of the bumper plates. Very, very important to have a good quality bumper plate. There's a thing called SHA durometer, okay? And you want the number to be 86 or higher. And what this is in plain English is the amount of pressure that bumper plate has sustained to create it and how much it was going to sustain, going to just say how much pressure it could take, like being dropped and dropped and dropped and dropped. So good indicator if you go on a website and you don't see the SHA, durometer reading, then just a good indicator that maybe that's not a really good bumper plate to invest in. Just saying. Number 3 is we're going to talk about the quality and precision of a bar. Very important. Do not cheap out on the bars. I'll tell you right now that if, the bushing's off by a little bit, it's going to cling and clang. And that's what when you hear like cheap bars, just really loud and that clingy sound, it's not something that you want in your gym constantly. The members are going to get annoyed by it. You're going to get annoyed by it. With those cheap bars comes with knurling being off the bar, just like fading, the color degrading, the rusting, the spin going away, and you're gonna buy the same bar 3 times for the price you got at one bar. So bars are a little bit more on the expensive side, but they will last the test of time if you invest in a good one and you take care of them and you oil them. Pay attention to your equipment. Number 4 is we'll talk about the single cast kettlebell. So what that means is it's your kettlebell with the handle, one shot, one single cast, not welded the handle, not anything, because your kettlebells will take a beating when the members are throwing it high up, dropping them on the floor, which is why you need a good mat. And you want to make sure that these kettlebells will just take the beating like they should, right? Like you invested into it. And that's why number 4 is we're talking about solid kettlebells. And number 5, we're going to talk about the thickness of an 11 gauge steel with power coating on a rig. Okay. So you want to make sure that a minimum is 11 gauge, because anything else than that is, it's going to you're going to see it chew in when you rack it, when you put a lot of weight on those holes in the rig. We just see, headaches with that. If it's not really power coated, then it's going to rust up because, there's, chalk that's getting into on it. There's, your body, your salt, the oils of your body's going to get into that steel, is going to start rusting. So you want a good quality rack from the get-go that's just going to take a beating and beating and beating. So those are the 5 essential equipments that we say do not cheap out. And that is pit stop number 4. Closing time. What's going on? We are at the end of our journey. So let's recap and close it up. Wave number 1 keeps cash flow in your pocket. Wave number 2, it perfects your arsenal for your gym. And then we talk about, the annual audit that will future-proof your gym when you do that. After that, we talked about quality and honesty with your members. And after that, if you're all in, but you're still a little bit lost, don't worry. That's why we're here and talking about this. Send us an email, and the professionals here at Gorila Fitness, we will do a one-on-one with you with anything that you require, all your questions. Maybe you need custom fitting and all that. Don't worry about it. We got you covered. That's why we're here. So again, thank you for joining us on this journey. Hope the road trip was good and not that bumpy. And see you on the next one. Get out of here. I know who I want to take me home. I know who I want to take me home. Take me home.